Pressure washing people. So today we are going to go over some must-haves on the trailer. And forgive me if I forget a few, but we are going to try and get as many done as possible. First off, shutting up to houses with rusted spigots. You're going to need a pipe wrench to get that hose off the side of the house. And these things are awesome. Once you grip on, you can kind of come back and it loosens, so you don't have to take it off, twist, take it off, twist, take it off, etc., etc. Now you want to be really careful if it is corroded on there that you don't crank too hard and break the spigot out of the wall. I've seen it happen. I've never done it myself. Knock on wood. Wherever. But yeah, pipe wrench is huge. Go over safety gear next. You got headphones. Obviously things get loud. What's going on, brother?
317?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is you?
Alex? Yeah, thank you. Cool. Appreciate you. Alrighty, thank you. I'll be right back to throw this in. Sorry about that. Got the Amazon man in the driveway. Alright, so ear protection, huge, so that you can hear your kids screaming at you when you're 50 years old. Everybody wants that. I don't have any kids yet, but one day. Next, eye protection. We deal with a lot of caustic chemicals, so you gotta keep those auras. I don't know, how do you say that in Spanish? You gotta keep your eyes safe. Next, obviously dealing with caustics, you don't want to be breathing that shit in, whether it be sodium hypochlorite, degreaser, or certain type of acid. You want to stay safe. Alrighty. Now we'll get into the big hitters. First off, you've got chlorine, bleach, SH. That's what deals with all of your organics, whether it be a roof, siding, a driveway. Sodium hypochlorite, bleach is going to be how you clean it. To enhance that bleach, to make it stick longer, to actually boost its potency as well, you want to get a good surfactant. The surfactant allows it to cling to walls and do its job a little bit longer. Some people actually use Gain laundry soap. I've seen it, but I've done the price comparison. Gain's only like $5 cheaper per 5 gallons than the surfactant, and this is made to do what we're using it for. So Leon John sells a really awesome cherry blossom scent that I like to use. I was just in a pickle one day and had to get this bucket, so whatever. And this one smells pretty good too. It smells like lemons. So it also hides and masks that bleach smell, so people won't be walking through the neighborhood like, oh, why are you spraying bleach? Like, shut up, old lady. But next we're gonna go into a good degreaser. I do a lot of restaurants, heavy equipment. You can even use degreaser on gutters, surprisingly. There's a lot of gutters I come across where the SH doesn't get off these little lines, and you want to do a light mix. I like to use LA Totally Awesome. I get it from the dollar store. It's pretty cheap. Throw it in one of these, and then I get up there and hit them, brush it off. You want to be quick, because if you go high on the mix, you can actually take paint off. So that's a no-no. Then you got like your commercial grade degreaser, obviously restaurants, heavy equipment, diesel, any hydrocarbons. It helps pick up and lift, and you have to go over a lot of those hydrocarbons multiple times. Hot water helps a ton, but it doesn't always get it all the way off. Concrete's a porous surface, and once that oil gets in, I mean, there's going to be a little bit of a stain there left afterwards. And that's where setting customer expectations is so big. Is you got to be like, look, I'm gonna get this light, I'm gonna get it as good as possible, but there's still going to be a little bit of a stain here. So setting that expectation is huge, so they don't try and like hold back money at the end of the day or something of that nature. Obviously, high pressure lines, go through a ton of these, dude. It sucks. This is a jumper line, so I wouldn't be able to clean anything with this, but this goes from the pump to the hot water maker, and they go bad quite a bit. So keeping a couple of these on the truck along with your regular pressure washing lines. Like, I get people driving over my lines all the time, and these are braided on the inside, and they'll pop, you know, even just from use over time. That high pressure will eat away at these. So you want to have a couple spares on the truck, on the trailer, wherever you need them, so that you can keep working. Next, we will go over NutriBleach. Anybody running chlorine needs NutriBleach. You can put this through your soft wash pumps. You can downstream it. I recommend downstreaming it at the end of the day, getting everything out of those lines, everything out of your ball valve. And I'm actually spraying down the trailer as well to kind of mitigate rust in the future. That's huge, and you should be doing it at the end of every job. You have to, if you run a 12-volt system for your soft wash that pump out every day. I remember when I was first learning how to do this, and the guy that was teaching me was telling me, we don't even go to lunch without washing our pumps out. Because those pumps cost about 150 bucks a piece, and you don't wash them out, you'll get like 3 uses from them. And an Everflow, it's what I was using for 2 years. I'll never use them again just because they have a terrible customer service policy. The best way to go about that is to actually order them through Amazon and then get the warranty through Amazon, because Everflow won't warranty their bleach soft wash pump, and Amazon will. But anyways, you got the NutriBleach. Oh, leading from NutriBleach, a lot of this stuff is dealing with pH, trying to bring whatever the pH is down or bring it back up. So I heard this from an OG. Those NutriBleaches are about 20 bucks a gallon. You want to save some money, get yourself some baking soda. I got baking soda. And basically mix this up in a bucket, flush it through your pump. It'll bring the pH back to normal, and you'll save a ton of money as opposed to getting that NutriBleach. I got too much money into my setup to not be washing it down properly, so still like to have this around. I just don't use it all the time. Next, we're gonna go over this tape, thread tape. Thread tape, man. You want as tight a steel as you can get on anything, really, so that you're not leaking water. Because if you have leaking water, then your pump is going to be overloaded. And what it does is it actually engages the unloader to build pressure again, and you'll hear it like, ah. You don't want that. You want constant RPMs. You don't want anything going up and down, because that's just wear and tear on your machines. So thread tape, thread dope, anything of that nature to keep the leaks from coming out is huge. Next, Gojo. I use this every day just about. It's got a little bit of grit in it, so it takes the dirt and grime off of your hands, which is really nice. Oil. You want to keep oil on the trailer. And this is for the pumps. The pumps run different oil than the motors. We run a non-detergent 30-weight oil in our pumps, and you don't want to mess around trying other oil in your pump, because the pump is a very expensive piece of machinery. Next, I use a lot of turbo nozzles. Turbo nozzle. Let me find one for you. I freaking love turbo nozzles. So there is a little ceramic bead at the end of this. When water gets pushed through, it creates like a vortex and almost acts as like a mini surface cleaner. These things, these things eat. And this was actually a tip from Giancarlo at Miami Elite Soft Wash down in South Florida. Thank you, bud. He uses his 3-in-1 PTFE lubricant, because these do wear out over time. This is 125 bucks right here. It's way too expensive for what it is, but throw a little bit of lube up in there, get her nice and slippery. I do both sides, and this has actually helped maintain my turbo nozzles quite a bit longer than they normally last, so I love this stuff. Unfortunately, in this industry, we deal with a lot of rust, whether it be quick connects, getting locked onto each other. Something that I like to use is PB Blaster. This is a Tri-Flow superior lubricant. Basically, it's the same thing as WD-40, but it eats a lot quicker. So have something to eat through that rust so you can get all your quick connects off when you have to do maintenance. And I like to do maintenance when I'm not in the field. A lot of guys, they just wait till they need to fix it. That's not what you want to do, because you'll end up leaving jobs unfinished, and that sucks. I've only had to leave one job unfinished in my whole 2 years and come back the next day, but it didn't feel good. So got that out of the way. J-Rods. A lot of guys run these instead of having the gun. Well, you put it on the gun, and each one of these is a different tip, so you're not walking around with 4 different tips in your pockets. You can just switch this on to what you want. You can have a chemical drawing tip, you can have a high pressure tip, but basically you can just set up your J-rod to whatever configuration you like. You can run it on the soft wash, you can run it on the high pressure, but J-rods are huge. Next, we're going to get into Dawn dish soap. Dawn, surprisingly, is a pretty awesome degreaser. I do a restaurant, one specific restaurant, where they don't want me to use caustic degreaser, so we use Dawn. We just throw Dawn down, we rub it in. They use this on animals that have been saved out of like oil spills, and ironically, it does a pretty good job. I wouldn't recommend using Dawn at gas stations or anything of that nature, but it definitely comes in handy when you need it. So Dawn dish soap. Ball valves. You'll have ball valves go bad every now and then. I got these cheap ones off of Amazon just to try them out and see what they were like. I don't like them. Not one bit. I still have them laying around. But you want to save 10, 20 bucks, you can go this way. I like these, what are these? They're like DN10 or something. I don't know, but they're a lot more stout. They last longer. They can get dragged around without you having to worry about them. But always keep a couple ball valves on the truck. Chemical injector rebuild kit. These are like 12 bucks a piece. If your chemical injector's not working, you're not going to be able to wash your house. So having one of these on hand is huge in order to basically keep on working. What it comes with is a ceramic ball, a little spring, and an O-ring. And typically when these go bad, it's either the O-ring or the spring. O-ring is either busted or the spring is rusted. How you doing? A little rhyme for you. So rebuild kit. Next, we got some glass cleaner just to get the hard watermarks off people's windows at the end of the day. It's something that I like to do to just go above and beyond for my customer. I'm not doing a full window clean. I'm just wiping off those hard watermarks real quick. Truck bed coating. I use this on my trailer. My trailer has Rhino lining on it to prevent any rust from building up over time. So I do patch spots whenever I can. Whenever I see stuff, I get in there, get under, paint the axles, paint the deck, paint anything I see is rust starting to build up on, so that's huge as well. You got another window. Maybe I just didn't put that down. Another gloss protective enamel, basically the same thing as that rust covering stuff. And then I use a fishing kit. I love fishing and had a couple of these sitting around. So I got all my quick connects in here. I've got some male threaded, male to female thread. I've got my quick connects here, whether it be for the bottom end of the gun, for the spraying tip of the gun. These ones are really cool for the hot water. Saves your fingers because they get really, really hot, obviously. Ooh, for replacing O-rings, you need a pick. You need a pick like this, and let me show you. This is where you're going to be losing a lot of pressure. And I've had jobs where I've broken 20 O-rings on the job. So what you want to do is the little O-ring in there will be broken as you get in here with your hook. Pull that O-ring out. As you can see, this one's in pretty good shape still, brand new. But you get your new one, put it back in there, and they don't pop in perfectly, so you kind of got to push around and get it to where it's flush in there. It takes a sec, and you'll get better as time goes on and you do more of them. It's taking me quite a bit right now. Boom. We were set. So it's back in. And then last, I don't really carry too much of this around. Acetone, paint thinner, things of that nature. Sometimes the painters spill stuff in the driveway and you get called out there to clean it up. So, last thing, I'll give you guys a little bit of a tip on rust. Rust, you want to deal with an acid. You can use aluminum brightener from Napa Auto Parts. I love that stuff. There's a product that Ace Hardware sells called White Ox. It's you mix it by hand, and then there is another acid. I forget the name of it, but I'll post it in the description where you hand mix as well. And that stuff eats. That's some serious stuff. You could use muriatic as well, but muriatic is so dangerous. I don't even like to keep it on the truck. But yeah, guys, that's kind of just a wrap up of a bunch of chemicals and little parts that we use to do our day-to-day operations. I want to say thank you for watching. Give us a like, leave a comment, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.